Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Flick News. Izola here, and if you're new, welcome. This is a segment on FlickDirect where I give you all the information that's been released in entertainment news. Well, not all of it. There's too much, and I only have limited time, so you're kind of stuck with what I've picked. Anyway, grab your popcorn, sit back, relax, and let's get this started. A new promo for the movie The Fall Guy, starring Ryan Gosling, was released today, and it is a must-watch. The movie is about a stuntman who, about a year prior, had to retire to focus on his physical and mental health. And yet somehow he is roped back in again when the lead of a movie that his ex is directing, played by Emily Blunt, goes missing. Now, the 3-minute promo starts with David Leitch asking Ryan Gosling to go pick up the stuntmen so that they could start filming on something new. And Ryan's a little confused because they can all get there, but David says, no, this is kind of like a carpool karaoke kind of thing without the karaoke. And then there, of course, is some back and forth about the singing because Ryan Gosling loves to sing. And David Leitch says specifically, no karaoke. So Ryan goes and picks up the stuntmen, and they show some stunts. And do you think that he listens? Of course not. Of course there's going to be some singing. But I'm not going to tell you what songs or how much. You're going to have to go watch the promo. Now, the movie comes out May 3rd, so be sure to check out the trailer and get ready to see that movie. I'm definitely going to tune in. And now on to some scarier news. The Little Mermaid is getting another movie. No, that's not the scary part. With Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey doing so well, apparently no fairy tale is safe. The Little Mermaid is getting a rated R horror movie. Now, I liked the cartoon, but I was a little disappointed with the ending. I basically grew up reading Hans Christian Andersen and the Grimm's Brothers. And if you read The Little Mermaid, you'd know that it does not end the way the movie does. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. Ariel gets the raw end of the deal. But the trailer for this movie has the story going to hell in a handbasket down a slip and slide. Watch it and you'll know what I mean. Now, I always like the reimagining of a story, so I'll definitely check this out. And I do love horror. I'm not a huge gore fan. You know, I think it's just excessive and unnecessary. If you've got a good storyline, you don't need all the blood and guts, but, you know, people do like that. But I'm still interested to see where this movie goes. Let's keep on this scary, eerie theme, shall we? Russell Crowe is set to appear in another Exorcist movie. However, it's not associated with the one he did in 2023 called The Pope's Exorcist. And I was kind of bummed when I heard that because I actually enjoyed the movie. It was fun at times, kept you on the edge of your seat, and his character, which it was loosely based on true facts, was quite witty. And I do have to say that Russell Crowe actually did a pretty good Italian accent. Fun fact, there is a scene where they are showing the symbol for the Spanish Inquisition. And when I saw this, I immediately stood up and said, that is not the Spanish Inquisition symbol. It is not. And the reason I knew is because it was the Inquisition symbol from the game Dragon Age Inquisition. And how do I know that? Because I have played that game far too many times to count. I told you guys, I love video games. And so I had to see where they came up with this. And it turns out that someone, no names were mentioned, went online and typed in Inquisition, and that's what popped up. Now, I don't know if they actually typed in Spanish Inquisition symbol or insignia, whatever they did, but apparently that's what they went with because it was the coolest one. And don't get me wrong, it's a really cool symbol, but just not the right one. Now, where was I? Oh, that's right. So the movie follows Crow as he is filming a supernatural horror type of movie. And things start to happen, and it gets to the point where his estranged daughter needs to figure out if his past addictions are rearing its ugly head or if something more sinister is happening. The Exorcism is set to be released June 7th, 2024 in theaters, and then to Shudder soon after. I definitely think this is a movie I would want to see in the theaters just because it just gives it a more scarier feel when you see stuff like that on a big screen. And I especially enjoy these just because I grew up Catholic. We heard these stories. They were kind of ingrained in our brain and scared the crap out of us as children. So, I kind of like to see where these go, and they just kind of scare me more than the more gory films, right? I don't need the blood and gore, like I said before. I like the ones that just kind of chill you to the bone. So I'm really looking forward to this. So we'll have to wait and see how it goes. And now on to some feel-good news. Ron Howard is directing a documentary about one of the most beloved people in entertainment history, Jim Henson. Now, I grew up on his movies and television shows. They pretty much raised me, which explains a lot. Now, in the trailer for the documentary, Jim Henson, the Idea Man, it starts off showing him as a young man and goes through what basically shapes him into the person that he was before he passed. It is immediately apparent that he was going to be one of the greatest artists of our time. From The Muppets to Labyrinth and even Dark Crystal, I can't imagine any house that was not touched by his work. The documentary speaks with people like Frank Oz and Jennifer Connelly, and they talk about their encounters with Jim and how he affected their lives. I am so looking forward to this documentary. I've watched things in the past on Jim Henson, but I really just want to see more of the type of person that he was and how he really made that rainbow connection with people. I know it was a bad joke, but honestly, that's such a great song. I really love that song. Kermit sings it so well. It's beautiful. The documentary is set to be released on Disney Plus May 31st, so be sure to check out Jim Henson, The Idea Men, at that time. Okay, you didn't think we were going to end it here and not discuss Deadpool, did you? Of course not. Especially with the trailer just coming out, we have to talk about it. Although I wasn't planning on watching it because I didn't want any spoilers. But that lasted all of about 5 seconds, and I immediately ran to my television and turned on YouTube. And let me tell you, this trailer did not disappoint. It was so good. And I know I say that a lot, but this was really, really good. It had a lot of humor, and it was extremely entertaining. And I swear they dropped the F-bomb so many times in the course of 3 minutes. That might have been a world record for how many times they said the F word. Now, I know South Park said a lot of F words in one of their episodes, but that's an entire, half hour? There's a lot you can say in a half hour. This was 3 minutes. So many. It's hilarious. So parents, just be aware if the kids want to watch the trailer, they're not bleeped out in this one. Now, I'm not going to give away anything else except that I will be going to see this in the theater, and I'm very excited. I can't wait till it comes out. And rest assured, I will be giving my opinion once it has been seen. Now, while we're on the subject, Famke Janssen was asked recently in an interview if she would be reprising her role as Jean Grey. And at first I was thinking, well, that's highly unlikely seeing as how she died in Last Stand. And that's not really a spoiler. You've had more than enough time to watch this movie. Or wish you hadn't, like me. Sorry, not sorry. But now that I think about it, and you see where Deadpool's kind of going in the trailers, it's not really out of the realm of possibilities that her character could possibly make an appearance. But when she was asked, she said that she didn't know, but it was highly unlikely. Now, hearing her say that, that leads me to believe that there is the possibility that she could be reprising her role and that she may be showing up, because she didn't just flat out say no. You would have just said no if that was the case. So, we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, nothing has been said, but we have seen tons of cameos, and especially with how this movie is going based off of the trailers, I think we're going to see a lot more cameos than you think. Okay, everybody, hold on to your heads, because Sleepy Hollow will be gracing us, lanterns and all, on the big screen once again. From the director of Pet Sematary Bloodlines, Lindsay Andrew Beer will be providing us with her interpretation of this movie, and maybe giving us a little more insight on some of those unanswered questions we have. Now, I am a huge fan of the Christina Ricci and Johnny Depp version, but the story of Ichabod Crane can be told in many different ways. For example, there's the cartoon. I love the cartoon. I watch it every Halloween, and it is filled with a lot of goofy kind of comedy, but it also still has that eerie spookiness to it, which you hope it would have, because it's honestly a scary story. And then you have Tim Burton's version. And we all know how that is. It's Tim Burton. He always has a certain set of style for the movies, and it always works. So I think Beer will be able to give us a different version of the story. And I think she's also going to be able to add more lore to it that we don't really get in some of the older versions. So I'm really looking forward to that, because I've always loved the story of Ichabod Crane, and I've always felt that there could be more done with this story. And based off of what she gave us with Pet Sematary Bloodlines, I think this is right up her alley. She's definitely going to deliver. Now, there's not too much on this movie yet, so we're just going to have to wait, like I say all the time, for spoilers, leaked information, or trailers. Hopefully we'll get something soon, because I can't wait. I may go watch the Ichabod Crane cartoon after this, just for nostalgia. And with that, this concludes our episode of Flick News. Don't forget to like and subscribe to both of our channels so you don't miss out on anything. And with that, this concludes our episode of Flick News. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to both of our channels to make sure you get all of our exclusive updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.